6 months ago, my opt-in rate was 0.8%, and now it is at 4.75%.
About what kind of size is your email list?
Over 400,000.
Hello and welcome to the Art of Selling Online Courses. We're here to share winning strategies and secret hacks from top performers in the online course industry. My name's John Ainsworth and today's guest is Seonaid Beckwith. Now, Seonaid is a really good friend of mine and she runs Perfect English Grammar. And what they do is they help people with English grammar courses. And Seonaid started out as an English teacher and she's built this up over many years to the point that she's got 30 courses available now. And she's got a membership and it's a fantastic site. It's helped millions and millions of people. We're going to get into the details of that later on. Now, before we go through with Seonaid today, I want to talk to you about Josip AI. So Josip AI is built on Josip Belina, who is my head of delivery, head of funnel strategy. And over the years, he's helped people make millions and millions of dollars in additional revenue through their funnels. And what we did is we took every coaching call that Josip's ever done and we uploaded them into an AI system. And so you can now go and quiz it. If you've got a question about your funnel, you want to know about how to run your email promotion, you want to know how to build your sales page, you want to know how to build a tripwire funnel, what kind of increase in revenue you can get. You can go and ask Josip AI all these questions for free. Now, to work with Josip costs thousands of dollars a month, but you can access this tool for free right now. Just go to datadrivenmarketing.ai to access the tool. Seonaid, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is very exciting. We're doing this podcast in person, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, tell everybody a little bit, what kind of courses do you sell and who are you helping?
So we have a lot of online courses. They are for people who are studying English as a second language. Lots of people from Europe, Spanish, Italian, lots of people from South America. And these are all people who want to improve their English and in particular their English grammar. We focus on grammar.
It's funny, right? Because we've got a couple of friends like Benny, for example, right, from Fluent in 3 Months, who he's got this whole thing about the way to learn a language is forget about all the grammar rules, just get out there and start talking to people. And he's a maniac. I mean, Benny is just an absolute maniac. He's fantastic. I love him. And your audience is like the exact opposite of his audience, right? Yours is the one who wants to learn exactly how does this particular piece of grammar work instead of just throwing themselves out there and cracking on with it.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. And it's actually often the case that when you've reached a certain level in a language, that is the moment where you might want to study a bit more grammar. So I have a lot of, say, people, maybe you're a professor in an Italian university, you've spoken English for a lot of years, and you get by fine, but when you go to an international conference, you maybe don't feel confident that you're really speaking beautiful English. There's bits of the grammar that you're not sure of, and you don't want to just get by, you want to sound really impressive.
Yeah.
And those are my people.
Okay, so your customer avatar is a professor in an Italian university.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
There's loads of them.
So you can hardly walk down the street without falling over them. So take us back to the start, right? How did this whole thing get started?
So what happened was like so many people, when I was in my early 20s, decided I wanted an adventure, I wanted to travel. And even though I'd done a degree that was nothing to do with languages, I thought I would move to Japan because I wanted to move to Japan. And the obvious thing to do when you're an English speaker in Japan is to teach English.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. And I had always liked languages. It wasn't that I wasn't like... I did absolutely have an interest in that field.
Yeah.
And so I went to Japan and I started teaching English and I loved it. So I loved the traveling, but I also loved the actual English teaching.
Yeah.
And so then I taught English in a couple of other places. Then I came back to London. Then I decided to do a degree in linguistics because it was also interesting to me.
And who doesn't need another degree?
Well, you can never have too many degrees. And so then I was continuing to teach English during the day and I studied at night. And then I went and did a master's in linguistics because I just loved the whole thing. Anyway, at the end of my master's, I discovered I was going to have a baby. Mm-hmm. This was a good thing. And when I had the baby, I decided...
Who's now 14.
Who's now 14.
And just gone into town for his first time.
That's right. And came back unscathed.
Yeah.
Amazing. I decided that I did not want to have a job. So I'd been fiddling around a little bit on the side while I was tutoring English. I put up some of my own grammar worksheets onto the internet, largely so that my own students could use them and I wouldn't need to carry so much when I was like visiting offices and stuff like that. Because at that time, tutoring a language meant like schlepping around London, visiting people. And so this little tiny website just started to add to it when I was not working, when I was at home. And it just started to grow, basically. So you
didn't really have like a vision of,
no,
I'm going to grow this into something. And this is like, I hear this
not
really
at all.
This is really common in people listening to this podcast, is that they didn't start out with this grand vision of building out a course business. They were an expert in a thing and they were teaching the thing, and then they helped people by teaching that thing online. YouTube videos is very common now, but it used to be put it all up on a website, whatever.
That's right.
And then somehow that turned into something.
Yes, this is completely what happened.
Classic case of this, okay.
Classic, absolutely, no idea, accidental business. So I started putting stuff online and I thought that maybe I would make a little bit of money from AdSense and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I did. And then it just grew and grew and grew.
Yeah. And so give people an idea, what kind of scale is the traffic at now?
So now we get a couple of million visitors a month.
Very casually. Just drop that in. Nice. Okay, cool. And about what kind of size is your email list?
So it's over 400,000 now.
Okay, great. And growing faster nowadays, right?
It grows fast.
Shonai's been doing a whole load of work recently on how to grow her email list faster by improving the opt-in rate, which has just been absolutely crushing it at. What were you at before, like about 6 months ago?
So 6 months ago, my opt-in rate from visitors on the website to joining the email list was 0.8%. And now it is at 4.75%. So my email list has exponentially grown recently.
Yeah, it's growing 6 times faster than it was before. That's fantastic. Okay, so you've got this fantastic audience that you kind of built up accidentally, but you put all this content out there. You've got a lot of traffic. You've got a big email list. How does that turn into money? Like, how does that turn into students? What product have you got?
So at the moment. So basically, over the course of all these years, I've experimented with loads of different offers and products. But at the moment, what we've got is a membership because we have so many courses. What I decided to do a couple of years ago was to put them all into one membership, and there's only one thing to buy. So it's like a library of online courses. So you just buy access, and then as long as you're a member, you can use any of the courses that we have inside.
Gotcha. And how much does it cost a month?
It costs $25 a month.
Okay, cool. So one membership with tons of different courses in, $25 a month. How does somebody... So obviously some people come along to the website, right? And they see the website and they go to the courses page and then they go and buy it. They say, right, I'm going to buy this membership. How else does someone get there in terms of becoming a member?
Yeah, so there's 2 other main ways. Though we do get quite a lot of people who just rock up and buy on the website. Some people buy during the welcome sequence. So once they've joined, if they sign up for the lead magnet in order to join the email list, they get an offer on the thank you page and the same offer again in a welcome sequence, which lasts for 2 weeks after that. And the third way that people can buy the membership is just being on the normal newsletter. So they get offered the membership pretty often via our normal newsletters and the occasional promo.
Gotcha. And talk us through some of those promos, because this is, I think, really interesting, the way that promos work for memberships. Because if someone's got courses, it's relatively straightforward, right? We've got a system, we've talked about it many times on this podcast, about you take one of the courses, you put it on discount of 30% off for a week. You have a series of, or in our case, 11 emails that you send out about that course. And you promote the fact that it's on discount at the moment and you can go buy it right now and you're going to get some money off. with a membership, you can't really do that every month without it feeling a little bit stale. So you do the discounts though, right, on it? How often do you do that?
So we do offer a discount in the welcome sequence, but as well as that on the main email list. So far, it's been about once every 6 months.
Okay.
It's that kind of thing.
Gotcha. And then what else are you trying in terms of the promotions for the membership, and how well is each of those things doing?
So it's very much, this is a work in progress, and we're experimenting with lots of things. We're trying different bonuses. So one of our best ones was a live session, which was in January and was like plan your year in English. So that one worked pretty well. So if you were a member before the live class happened, then you could come along to the live class and get this, like, I'd talk you through how to plan your language study for the year. You got worksheets, you got various things.
Gotcha.
So that one was a pretty good one.
Cool. So then probably every January you can do that promotion.
That's fair.
And twice a year you've got the discount.
Yes.
Twice-ish. What other kind of things are you trying out?
So we've tried not offering anything, but just talking about the membership a lot. That does drive some sales, but nothing like the amount as if we have a deadline.
Yeah.
We've tried other bonuses. So I just recently offered a bonus, which was a video, like an extra video class. So like a master class, we're calling it, which is separate from the normal courses. And I try to make it something which is applicable to all the levels, because one of our things is that we have people of different levels in the membership, and there are courses for different levels. But if I want to make a bonus, I want it to appeal to everybody. So the bonus I just recently offered was a masterclass, which is like an hour-long video class with extra worksheets and so on the topic of how to learn English more quickly. So it's like kind of techniques to increase the speed of your language learning. And that one also did pretty well.
Okay. How did that, do you know conversion rates, or is that too much?
I don't know yet,
Okay.
because it only recently finished.
Okay, gotcha.
But generally, we'd get maybe 0.2 or 0.3 on a little bit less than that, actually, on a really good promo.
Okay, gotcha. So have you tried running a promotion of one of the individual courses that people could buy separately and then upselling them to the membership? Or are you kind of morally opposed to it? Like, have you tested that at all?
So I haven't. So for a while we offered both.
Yeah.
So when I first started the membership, on the sales page for each course, there was you can buy the course on its own, or you can buy the membership. And basically people stopped buying the courses, which seems reasonable because the price difference was quite a lot. Because one of the big courses cost $150 at that time, and then the membership costs, $25 or whatever.
Yeah.
So the membership looked like a better deal. I haven't tried, basically I haven't tried this apart from that kind of thing, because I just love the simplicity of our current setup.
Yeah.
It's so nice not having people getting different things.
Yeah.
But it is something I might try in the future.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I'm just trying to think through in terms of bonuses, and Shona and I have this kind of conversation quite often. Like, we live around the corner from each other and we talk about this quite a lot. What about if you said, here's this particular course we're going to focus on this month, and if you are interested, you can get that for, what was it, $25 a month for your membership?
Yeah.
Right, you can get that for $25. And you get that you join the membership, you get this course, and you get all the other courses as well. And at the end of the month, if you decide you don't like it, then you can just keep that one course forever. And you cancel the membership, but you've still got that course. Because then you could really focus on that segment of your audience who is at whatever B1 level, or who's interested in that particular challenge or something like that. And that way you wouldn't have to create a new bonus.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like, do you know $100 million offer?
Yes.
Alex Hormozi's thing, right? One of the things, I'm pretty sure it's from in there, is a better than money back guarantee.
Yes.
And I first heard, trying to remember. There's a book called Getting Everything You Can Out of All That You've Got. Something like that.
Yes,
That's from a classic old marketer. I'm trying to remember his name now. He's got a really, really, really dark tan.
I completely know who you mean, but I can't.
J. Abraham. Okay.
Well done.
So, yeah, he really focuses on like, how can you make the guarantee so good that it's like would be crazy for somebody not to.
Yeah.
And I worked on one of these with Christopher Sutton a while ago. And it was something like this, like, you buy this thing, and if you don't like it, you not only get all your money back, but you also get to keep all the courses that you bought, or something like that. And it's like, it feels a little like, but someone's going to take advantage of me, and they're going to get that, right? And that is true. Some people will, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But also, it's so good of an offer that it makes it really easy for someone to say yes, because they're like, oh, cool, great, I want that course. And I get to try the membership. And if I don't like the membership, I still got the course. And I get it for whatever, for free or for $25 or something like that. I think that might be an interesting, at least worth a test. I mean, like, it's up to you, right? It's your business. But I think that something like that could be an interesting test.
Yes.
How does that sound?
That sounds like an interesting test. I feel like there's definitely, like, thought about how to make the guarantee better.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's 30 days money back.
Yeah.
So you can cancel the membership at any time, and if you don't like it, we'll also give you your money back for that month.
Yeah.
Getting to keep one of the courses is, if you don't like it, it's also a pretty interesting idea.
It'd be strong, wouldn't it?
Be strong. Yeah, I'm actually pretty tempted to try that.
And it would give you a really good a good angle for the promotion.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's a really big deal when you're trying to put together a email promotion is figuring out what angle to have. And the angle defines the rest of the whole email promotion. Yeah, if you had that, then what you could do would be, you have that one segment of your audience who's at that level, B2 or whatever it is, or who's interested in that particular topic. You hammer about that topic or that area, which you've already written email promotions for before, so you could pull some stuff from that, or you could redo it. And then it gives you, let's say it works, right? Just for sake of argument. It then allows you to go, oh, cool, well, next time we're going to do something about a different one. And then it's like the structure of it is straightforward. If it doesn't work, it's like, oh, well, that was an interesting test, John. Thank you very much. But this is like, I'm fascinated by this because we have generally done promotions for courses without focusing on the membership as the main thing. We'll have the membership as an upsell or a more expensive upsell or something like that. And we haven't done as much of the ones that you're doing. And I've been interviewing people recently. If you want to go check out some of the previous episodes, we've got one from Scott Devine from Scott Space Lessons, where he talked about how he's doing it, and then Pat Flynn as well. Did you hear those ones?
Yeah.
Pat Flynn ones, yeah. And what did you think of Pat's idea? Because his idea was you take the membership and then you have a membership plus, like a cohort for a period of time. And I imagine you would hate that. So
I've been talking about this recently.
Okay.
And I recently had a marketing coach who was very into this idea as well.
Yeah.
And so I think it would work.
Okay.
To be frank.
Yeah.
And so I'm not against the idea of trying it.
Yeah.
And especially, I like the idea of a little bit more high touch going through the courses, because obviously with online courses, sometimes people don't use them. With us, with churn, it's very clearly people who don't start who churn.
Right.
And so a way to get people to start would be really good.
Yeah.
And when I made the courses originally, I did them I had a beta group, and I dripped the course every week.
Yeah.
And people did get really nice results doing that, because they were much more likely to, in this group environment, finish the course.
Yeah.
So I'm not against it. I'd need to work out how it would work because we're such a small team.
Yeah.
But one of the nice things about that is at least you could try the cohort, you could finish the course, and if you hated it, you wouldn't need to do another cohort.
Right. Yeah. It's not committing to a long term, right, for 2 years we're going to do this membership or something like that.
That's right. And it's not like adding a weekly call into the membership for everyone.
No.
It's just these people just for this time.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things that we're looking doing for our audience, for people who listen to this podcast, is Cohort for Black Friday. And we've done a weekly membership, and it worked for a lot of people. It didn't work for everybody because not everybody did it.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay,
Yes.
let's pull that apart and be like, why did not everybody do it? Like, we know people who've gone through that program and become multimillionaires from it. And we know, I know people who you probably won't have come across because they never implemented anything. And we're like, oh, why not? This massive potential, and why have you not done the thing? And so rather than be like annoyed at them about it, what I want to do is go back through and go, okay, let's figure out exactly why they didn't do it. So one of the things we're doing right now is we're taking a whole system for writing emails.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think, where people get stuck the most, and rebuilding it so that we can help people to be able to do it. And we're testing it out this week, and with Joe, who's a joint friend of ours.
Yeah.
And if that works well, or however well that works, we're going to improve and improve and improve. And eventually what I'm thinking is we'll have a cohort-based thing where we help people go through and write email promotions. And if that works great, maybe we'll make it a monthly thing. If it doesn't work great, maybe we pull it apart again and whatever. But it's like, there's that. I love the idea for the Black Friday one in particular. We've got like, there's a beginning and an end, and you go, did it work or not? Not like it just kind of keeps going, and then you can figure out. And eventually you go, yes, that's the formula for our audience, for our thing. So what would be the things that would help you decide whether or not you would do that cohort? Is it capacity in your team?
Probably is, because I feel like a cohort, and I mean, I could be wrong about this, but I'm assuming that a cohort needs live sessions. And so it would be about who would do them, when they'd happen. For us, time zones are a problem because we have such a global audience. And also which course to choose. But I think actually it's almost certainly something I'm going to test this year.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think that's one of the beautiful things, right? You've got a bunch of spaces. Every month there's a space for another test. So 3 of them a year are filled out at the moment, and you're kind of figuring out the other ones.
That's right.
What's frustrating for you at the moment with your business?
So actually the thing that's most frustrating is that I have a million ideas and things I want to do, and I don't have either personal or team capacity. And so it's about working out which ones to do first, how to plan them better, how to get help in a sensible way, how to like structure my own weeks better so I can do more. Yeah, so we can just have more output.
Yeah. And what size is your team at the moment?
So there are 3 of us, including me.
Okay. Yeah. And then some freelance help as well?
Yeah, so then we've got not regular.
Okay.
So I've been working with, probably they wouldn't consider themselves freelancers, but like a copywriter and a person to help with opt-ins. So it's more like they're a mini agency.
Gotcha.
And then, yes, there's somebody who, you know, I'll call on for this task or that task. But we don't have a lot of regular freelancers, or we don't have any regular freelancers apart from, you know, if I need something in Google Analytics, I'll go to this person. But that's once every 6 months or whatever.
And give people an idea, how many people are in your membership at the moment?
Just over 2,000.
Okay.
So, yeah, 2,200, something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. And what's the goal for the year? Where do you want to get to?
I want to get to 5,000 members.
5,000 members.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. And so how do you feel about that with hiring? So you've got this team of 3 of you. You've got some freelancers. You're frustrated with capacity. Do you think I should hire another person? Or like, I really don't want to hire another person because I want to keep the team small. Like, what's your thinking about that?
So I think I actually think the bottleneck here is my ability to plan and delegate. So this is a thing I'm working on. And I find that I can delegate quite well to my team when, because they're there and I know they can do the thing. And it's easy just to like send a task over, can you do this today, kind of thing. Whereas and I don't really want to expand the team much at the moment. Both the people on my team are English teachers, so they do content, they do lots of really helpful stuff. But probably the help that I need just now is more technical. And I think the thing that I need to work on is like planning out tasks, working out, exactly what needs to be done and what kind of person needs to do it, and then finding freelancers who can do that. And that's definitely the thing that I'm going to be working on in the next little while. Because I'm so, I'll be doing a task and I'll think, oh, somebody else could probably do this little chunk of it. But I don't have someone to hand. I don't think about it far enough ahead. If I go and find somebody to do that task, then, it'll be 3 days before it gets done. I could just do it now. So I just do it now. And that doesn't actually work long term because the bottleneck is absolutely my capacity at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think you will have to expand your core team to hit the goal that you have? Or do you think if you get better at planning and you get better at getting everything organized in advance and find the right freelancers, that you can do it with that?
I think I can do it with that, but, I'll reevaluate in 2 months, in 4 months and so on and see if I'm getting close to it.
Yeah. Okay. The people who listen to this podcast tend to be somebody who has already they've got an audience. It's made, let's say 200,000 people have followed them on Instagram or on YouTube, something like that. They've got some courses already. They probably don't have a team.
Yeah.
It's just them doing everything at the moment. They're feeling slightly overwhelmed by the whole thing. And they're not making as much money as they could be from this yet. What would be your advice to someone like that? What things had worked for you in the past when you were in that situation that kind of helped you level up?
So I think when you're a subject matter expert, it's absolutely not easy, but it is a lot more comfortable to do things like make content for YouTube or a blog or Instagram, and to make courses, because you're essentially, both of those are the same skill set, right? You're good at explaining things. You can put yourself out there in a nice way, and people, really get value from your work. I think selling things is a completely different skill set. And what helped me a lot was to decide that I am going to focus on learning and getting help with this completely different set of things, which are, broadly business and marketing. And it's really, really different. I think it's really easy to think that because you've got a big audience and courses, this stuff should just kind of follow, but it completely does not. It's a whole skill set on its own and really worth learning. So I feel like for me, what worked was to take some of the effort that I was putting into explaining things really well, learning how to write blog posts well and all that kind of stuff, and just focus it on marketing, learning funnels, learning copywriting, which is completely different from writing about your subject matter, learning how to look at conversion rates, all this stuff, which often doesn't come naturally to people who are good at a language or good at music or good at, this kind of stuff that we like to talk about on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because it's a whole nother skill set, and therefore it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
And therefore it's very easy when you feel that discomfort internally to think, oh, I shouldn't be doing that thing. Or I don't want to do that thing. I'm going to avoid doing that thing. Let me do the thing that I know how to do. I want to make more courses. I want to make more content, and then justify that decision that you made emotionally to yourself logically. And so I can't possibly be doing promotions until I have this complete suite of courses, or I've got this other thing built, or I need to build up this other, these videos for Instagram or for YouTube, whatever first. But I think that getting into that when you're relatively early on is such a big deal, because it's like the third leg to the stool, right?
Yeah.
And it allows you to make more money now, which is great, but it also allows you to get good at that thing that later on is going to really serve you really well, and help you figure out which of the things that you're making have got product market fit and people actually want. And we've got a friend, Jack, who I think is doing a great job at this. And he's just starting out with banjo skills. If you are interested in learning banjo skills on YouTube, he's fantastic. And he's just working away. Every month he's promoting something else. Every week he's promoting something else to kind of figure out what is it the audience actually is after. And really, even though he's so early on in the whole process, I think that skill that he's learning is going to serve him. It's going to make the whole thing grow so much better.
Absolutely. And I think it's quite easy to basically, if you're not making, like, it's so much effort to make all the content and make all the courses. If you're not also making money from that, you're just going to burn out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to work long term.
Yeah.
It's really worthwhile starting as early as you can. And certainly for me, I didn't start anything like early enough. I built a big website and audience, like many people do, right?
Yeah.
Without knowing essentially anything about business.
Yeah.
But it is so worthwhile because you want your business to be sustainable, right? You want it to give you a good living and you want it to continue. And you can't do those things if you're not making enough money.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think most people who are selling courses don't have any idea how much money they could be making from the audience that they've currently got, because they're not putting all those things in place.
Yeah.
Well, Shona, thanks so much for coming on today. Really appreciate your time.
You are so welcome.
If people want to look up your website, they want to go and see what you're up to, where should they go check you out?
Yeah, so the main website is perfectenglishgrammar.com. If you put Perfect English Grammar into Google, you will probably find me. We're the same thing on the socials. That's the grammar channel. If you want to follow me personally, I'm Seonaid Beckwith on Instagram, and I talk a little tiny bit about business and what I'm up to there.
Nice. Fantastic. If you found this interview useful and you want to get future episodes, please subscribe wherever you listened. And if you want to get help with your funnels, then the first thing to go check out is Yosip AI. So go to datadrivenmarketing.ai and go and sign up for that. And Yosip is going to be helping you out with your funnels in no time at all. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. And Shona, thanks again for coming on.
You're so welcome. Such a pleasure.